I'm Alvaro Bedoya. Today we're going to be working with the junior players because usually the mistake is to leave the ball at the net or don't have the correct height over the net or not too much spin on the ball. So we're going to be working on that so the kids or the juniors get more consistency. So we're going to hit only backhands and we're going to have the ball over the net. All right, ready? Okay. So, okay, as you can see that the ball is still at the net. It's not going any height or any spin. So what we want to do is that she understands that she needs to get under the level of the ball in order for the ball to get more height, more spin, and more depth onto the court. Ready? Try to score a goal between those two cones. That's good. Okay, so the ball is crossing the net, but it's very lower the net and it's bouncing short. It's bouncing inside the service box on the other side. Okay, so as we can see, the mistake is that the tip of the racket is not dropping enough before contact point. So I'm gonna put the stick on her hands so she can see it better and she can feel it too. So what she's doing right now is that the point of the stick is pointing upward, going forward. So as you can see, when she comes to a contact point, the stick never drops below the level of the ball. Okay, so the contact point is gonna come from low to high. Stop on the contact point. So the contact point should be right in front of her. Should be a square with the baseline if we are hitting a baseline shot, and then she's gonna come all the way around. Usual mistake especially with the girls, junior girls, is that they have a weird combination, which is a full Western grip with the left hand and an Eastern backhand grip with the right hand. So it's very important that we get more of a continental grip with the right hand and an Eastern forehand grip with the left hand. So the tendency when the mistakes is if we see the racket with the left hand is more of a full Western, the face of the racket closes. And this has a tendency to leave the ball at the net. You have to be very precise to make contact very much in front of you for the ball to clear the net. So what I want is you to grip the racket only with your left hand, okay? Keep it with both hands first, okay? And she is gonna take only the right hand out. We're gonna make sure, I recommend to have an Eastern forehand grip with the left hand and a continental grip with the right hand. So I'm gonna make sure that she has the right grip and she is gripping the racket at the right length on the racket. So put the hand back again here. Okay, make sure the hands are together and then you're gonna release the right hand, okay? Notice that we're closer to the net so she doesn't need to overhit the ball. So you release this hand and we're gonna start from here. Usually the problem when the balls are at the net or the ball doesn't get the right depth is because the tip of the racket is not dropping below the level of the net of the contact point. So what she's doing right now, grip it with the other hand again. She's coming across and the tendency is for the racket to be above the level of the hands on contact point. So she's not dropping enough below. So to do this exercise, we're gonna start with the left hand. We're gonna make sure that the left arm is not very tense. Usually if they are righties with the left hand, they try to be very tight. So we're gonna make sure that she's relaxed. The racket is gonna start in a right plane. So we make sure that the tip of the racket is below the level of the hand right here, okay? And we're gonna try for her to make contact point with the left hand and to continue with the motion only dominating with the left hand. Okay, so we're gonna start from there. Ready? Perfect, okay? So notice how right now the ball has a little more flight into it. She's coming from underneath the level of the ball. She's utilizing the non-dominant hand, which is the left hand right here, and she is finishing all the way around like we want. We have to make sure that she doesn't do only with the arm. The usual mistake that happens is that the people try to overhit only with the hand or the forearm. And we want is all the upper body to rotate through the shot and to finish a round. Ready? Game. Perfect. More time. All right. Now, the progression for this exercise is to have it now with the 2 hands on the grip, and we're gonna only grip the racket on the right hand with 2 fingers with the right grip. So we have to make sure she has more of a continental grip and the 3 fingers are extended. So right here, she's gonna feel that the racket is dropping below the level of the contact point and it's gonna go around. Same thing as we did with the 1 hand. Ready? Perfect. Good. Very nice. So when she finishes, what we want is that the top of the racket is more like her third eye and doesn't go all the way around, because then she loses control of the head of the racket. We want the head of the racket to be square on top, not to be closed or to be open. So we have to make sure that she has the right grips and that she doesn't open or close the wrist after contact point. So on the start position, again, what we want is the tip of the racket below the level of the hands. We have to make sure the right wrist is in the right angle before going forward. The mistake, as you remember, go ahead, was that she was coming across, but the right wrist wasn't going under enough. So we have to make sure that the right wrist breaks. The usual mistake also is that people also close the face of the racket when this happens. We need to make sure that the racket is square on the back of the swing, right here. Make sure the ball goes over the net, under, perfect. One more, good. Now, to complete the process, we're gonna go behind the baseline and she's gonna have the racket all around, her regular grip. We're gonna start from here so she understands that she has to come under the level of the ball, all right? Very good, Ana Sofia, excellent. Perfect.